Enter the crib. Your strike back sit rep starts in 3, 2, 1. Wait, do we go on 0?
All right, welcome back, guys. We are here to talk about the series Yellowstone. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Deb.
So if you guys are looking for some action and some terrible
on television
and some alcoholics, yeah. If you guys are looking to watch some action, sorry, it's not gonna get you any action. But if you guys are looking to watch some action on television, on Paramount right now, they're on the 3rd season of Yellowstone. So I kind of like seen advertisements for it and, met it, and then sat down and binged it and got Deb into it. And it is starring Kevin Costner as the sexy, terrible cowboy. Man, he's like, what, 60? 65,
I think
something.
he just turned 65 maybe.
Yeah,
but
that is one good looking old man. But anyways, yeah,
it's the new 40.
Yeah, you guys have probably heard Deb and I talk about Succession, which watch first.
Is amazing.
Not watched that. Yes, and it's
Oh
amazing. And so the acting and the everything is amazing. This is sort of like that, only cowboys. It's a family of terrible people. Like, there's really nobody you really root for. It's more like, what the fuck is gonna happen next? Plus beautiful scenery in Montana, and it's gorgeous. I think it's shot in Utah. Is that right, or is it actually
the ranch that they use as the Dutton Yellowstone Ranch is actually in Utah, but they do a lot of the outdoor shooting and a lot of the small town stuff and highways, byways, that kind of stuff in various parts of Montana. So they actually have shot in Bozeman several times, like some of the coffee house scenes of that kind of stuff are Bozeman. So it's strange because you're headquartered in Utah. You'd think you could find someplace in Montana to play a Montana ranch, but I don't know.
Yeah.
My guess is, and there's plenty of production
incentives and stuff like that, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. Makes me miss writing. So okay, so first, I guess, do you want to kind of talk a little bit about like sort of general plot? It's kind of the same plot every season.
Through. Yeah. It's funny because you talked about how there's like nobody that you really root for. There's nobody you really get behind. But if you get on social media and the like really rabid fans of this show, they don't see these characters like that at all. I mean, they really do. Like, they're all in and rooting for Beth, who's just a wretched human being.
It's just terrible.
And even though we found out sort of a big reason why she's terrible a couple episodes ago, and I mean, it really ripped your heart out when you found out what it was.
Yeah.
She's still terrible.
She's terrible.
Yeah. So it's really funny. There's like 2 types of fans for this show. And I think you're kind of like the type of fan that I am, that you're just watching it because it's kind of that train wreck you can't stop watching.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's fairly well written, and it's beautifully produced, and it's very well acted, but it is kind of a train wreck. And then there's like the, we love these people and they're good people.
No, I'm like, you could all die, and I'd be like, let's go watch the Bunker Boys, the Cowboys. I would have like not shed a tear for any of them. They are just terrible. Whereas I do feel like with Succession, they are all terrible, but like there are so many glimpses of humanity, and you see them being beat down and reacting terribly to that, as opposed to this, which is like
my way or the highway, or you're getting a bullet to the head.
Yeah, like you
were 10 minutes late for work.
Yeah,
you're dying.
You're awful. Yeah, like they're awful. It is like, and I don't mean actually there are like fist fights, but they're cowboy fist fights. It is brutal.
Yeah,
really it's not
fights.
Like showy, sort of like a Warriors or Strike Back. Of all the shows to blank on. But
so basically you have the Dutton family, and John Dutton is sort of he's the patriarch, of the family at this point. You see flashbacks to his father quite a lot, but they're a sixth generation ranching family with this enormous ranch on, of course, extremely valuable land. And that kind of all boils down to they've got the motherlode of land and everybody else wants it.
Yeah.
And so it's just this constant drive to protect the ownership of the land. And so you get that viewpoint of, this is who we are, this is what we do, we're ranchers and we live, this is the life that we live, and this connection to the land and the animals, and that's gorgeous.
Yes, that part
absolutely
is
gorgeous.
Great. Yeah.
But there's also that, they're also a fairly powerful family in that they've, woven themselves. They seem to be able to just get themselves appointed to anything they want. Like, okay, let's make Jamie the Attorney General.
Yeah. Livestock Commission, which apparently is like basically the FBI of Montana.
It is actually, the Livestock Commission is a real branch.
I know it's a real
judiciary.
thing.
Yeah, they are real. Yeah. They do have real police powers. But they seem to be the Section 20 of law enforcement in Montana, that they just kill anybody they want, bury them out in the desert or out in the the field, and if we get caught, we'll just appoint Jamie the Attorney General, and nothing will happen.
Yeah. So. You also have they're adjacent to a large reservation. So you have like a Native American tribe is basically trying to take back their land as well. And so you have some of the impact there. Some of the things, the storylines that I have liked is, so one of the Duttons is married to a Native American woman, and so she teaches, and she does sort of confront some of the erroneous American history and the way it's been taught. And I like that part of it.
A lot,
it's beautiful. But it is very like, what? Like that guy, you didn't like that he didn't want to, what? And
kill
now
other people.
Okay, now everybody just gonna die, and this is the guy we're supposed to root for. And I thought, like, he's supposed to be like the golden child, except he's like he's a killer too. And so it gets very like it's like a train wreck. But it is a beautifully shot, beautifully backdropped, and
gorgeously acted,
and it's fun to watch cowboys be cowboys.
Yeah. And it's just sort of these interwoven themes of we're ranchers, and the beauty and the brutality of that life, and then the political intrigue of every season a new other baddie, because they're kind of all baddies, comes in to try to get the land. I mean, we're currently dealing with somebody who wants to build an airport and eventually develop the city, and the natives are trying to build a casino, and it's just, everybody's trying to grab the land and make money off of it however they can, and none of them want to do it ranching. So and then there's the whole storyline of Beth, the daughter, and Rip, the
head bunker boy, the head ranch hand, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what you would call his title exactly.
Who basically came to the ranch as a child after killing his father,
who was abusive, like in the middle of being like his mom being murdered by his dad.
Right. Yeah. So everybody sort of has this tragic background at some point.
Yeah.
And
although that one I was like, they're hiding him, he doesn't exist in the system, but I want to be like, his dad literally killed his mom. Why did they think it's like clearly self-defense,
right,
in every sense of the word? Why they feel like they have to hide him on this ranch?
40 years.
Like, yeah.
And now they want to get married, and he doesn't legally exist. Which is really
but that's a
pretty good, because he kills someone every week. So it's probably a good idea. It doesn't, like, nobody's ever looked up his background for the 100 times we've had him in, oh gosh. But there's, they have these really sort of, I cover you, you cover me relationships with the Livestock Association and the governor and the sheriffs. So like everybody has something on each other, so they're pretty loose with how they apply the law and enforce the law.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, and John Dutton is as crazy as they come. And I mean, the guy is like, you know, his wife died when his kids were young. They're all, you know, now like 35, 40, and he still is like, we are going to set the table, and her place is going to be set, and you are not going to sit there. And it doesn't matter that nobody ever actually eats here. We're going to all sit, you know, and then I'm like, I get it, like your morning, but it's been like 30 fucking years. Like, dude, just let them sit where they want to sit. And like, just, you know, like, I mean, it's very.
And they've idolized this woman who died.
Who was terrible too.
Who was an awful human being.
God,
I mean, so awful to those children. Oh my God.
She's like, your life is gonna be tough, so I'm gonna just straight up tell you, your life is gonna be tough, so I'm gonna make it tougher. What? That's a terrible way to raise a child. Your children are so messed up.
And you can't stop watching.
You can't. You really can't. You can find it on Amazon and iTunes. I think Paramount has an app you can download.
Yeah,
you know, on demand.
Peacock.
Yep, on Peacock. So there are ways to watch it. I totally recommend it, but it is. You can totally watch this while you're doing something else. I'll say that, because like the plot is not the driver for this show. Like they're not gonna say something and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm totally lost now that I missed that. It's probably a swear word.
Right.
Or talking about alcohol. Or talking about getting laid. Or talking about wanting to beat someone up. So you're probably cool just to watch. Like you could even like mute it and you'd probably get the basic idea. This sounds terrible, but it really is. It's a fun watch.
When you talk about the people. Oh, and Beth's also like this. She is, I mean, raging in every sense of the word of raging alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
And this poor Rip, who's like tries to be a sweetheart, is so in love with her, and it's like,
oh, but he's terrible too. Like he's just like kill it anybody who, you know, doesn't. I like my favorite is the guys in the bunker, you know, the like other cowboys and stuff, like a bunkhouse. I don't know why I keep saying bunker. My brain is fried. You know, I think they're probably my favorite part. They're like little, you know, they have the sort of fun vibe that you kind of miss from Strike Back, honestly. They're giving each other shit and they're buddies and they look out for each other, but they also like beat each other up. But then if somebody else beats them up, then they're all gonna go, you know, and do like crazy stuff.
And they're sort of an inner group, this sort of, that was, you know, they get branded if they're taken into the sort of the inner circle. It's pretty brutal. So there's this level of brutality to everything that even I think you didn't even see in Strike Back. I mean, it wasn't just an undercurrent of constant brutality, which is there in Yellowstone. I mean,
it's a different. It has a different tone to it. Absolutely. There's a sense of like. I mean, I guess it's the Wild West. It's sort of glorifying. It's like we brought the Wild West forward with modern weapons. You know, it's it's a little more stomach turning in that way. I hadn't thought about that, but when you say it like that, it's absolutely right. Like there's like not quite the violence, you know, in that way, but it's even when it's realistic in Strike Back, it's still stylized. It doesn't feel quite so like until they, you know, shoot Warren. When we lost Mac, that didn't feel quite so stylized.
I'm sorry we brought that up.
Oh, Mac.
But yeah, I mean, there is action in it. There's a lot of guns and a lot of gunfighting, and in every episode, every once in a while, they'll have sort of a side issue that they hone in on and try to, you know, put a spotlight on. They did an episode, and they've kind of had a thread running in this season about violence against
Mm.
Native women.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually, have put out resources online and, during the
Oh,
show
interesting.
and that kind of thing. But it's also interesting that the episode was only like 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
So the one episode that they were really pushing as sort of a public service episode was seriously short. I mean, it
Yeah.
runs an hour on television, and this only ran like, it didn't even run 50 minutes with commercials.
Yeah.
So it was really strange.
That's
that,
interesting. Yeah,
you know,
I had not even put that. I will be honest, it felt very I would be intrigued to go see who wrote that and if it was a man, because I was not left feeling like, oh, this is educational or empowering. It felt
Mhm.
like this is not necessarily, it's not fridging because she has her own storyline and the people, but it is I don't know. It felt gross.
It was
It
awkward.
felt gross. Yeah.
It was.
And not gross in I think the way they were shooting for, but like why
Yeah,
did I
like
watch it this
it was.
way? I don't know.
They had, planted seeds for this storyline
Yeah.
all 3 seasons,
Yeah.
and then they publicized the fact that this was sort of going to be the episode that brought this to the forefront, and then it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
It
No,
was.
it went. Yeah, it didn't go the right way for me. I was going like, what is happening? Like I just, yeah, no, it didn't. That did not sit right with me the way it was handled.
Mhm.
But
And then
that's
I looked
one
at the clock
episode
and thought,
in season 3. So
it's over. It's 10 minutes
yeah,
to
yeah,
10. What's going on? It was odd. And there are sort of those underlying themes throughout the whole thing, like the respect for the land and the conservation and things like that. And
yeah,
there's a constant focus on the oppression of Native peoples,
yes.
and which I hope gets even stronger and stronger.
Yeah, and they have done a good job with that. And
Yeah.
I like the way they show that respect for the land and like, you can hunt, you can fish, you can do these things if you do them in a certain way and it's not, trophies and it's not whatever, but at the same time I'm like sitting there going like if I don't know, yeah. They're just crazy. I get loving your land, and that's fine. It's fine to love your land. And it's fine to want to protect your land. I'm not sure you should kill to protect your land.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. That I almost started laughing in this last episode. They were trying to catch a serial killer of Native women, and at one point there's a search party, and they start to find bodies in this area, and I just thought, okay, are they ever going to come across these like 85 people we've seen them kill over the last 3 seasons that are littered all over the place?
Yeah. Yeah, that are just like dropped off in a ditch and left.
Well, I gotta take you out here. I just blew up your meth farm and your meth trailer, and now I'm gonna bury you out here.
We're gonna dig some graves to threaten, or have you dig your own grave, and we're gonna let you go. But we're gonna leave the graves, even though it's by the roadside, like 50 feet from the road, where people can look over and be like, "Why are there 5 graves dug in the dirt over there?" Yeah, no, it's weird. I mean, I just think, but it's.
You can't stop watching.
Can't stop watching.
Because the performances are really good, and they're so good that these are actors that when you realize who they are, you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's been in this or she's been in that, and I've seen them in all these things. I mean, Kevin Costner is Kevin Costner, although I will say
who it was.
Cole Hauser,
oh my god, you guys
Rip.
Watch, go look him up, because you're gonna be like, it's that guy.
Yeah.
And you're gonna look at the picture, and then you're gonna look at the TV, and then you'll look at the picture and the TV, and you're gonna be like, no, that's not that guy. It is that guy.
Unrecognizable as Rip.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love him, and it took me several episodes to realize that was him. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
No, it took
And the same with-
you telling me for me to realize that was him after like 2 full seasons that I binged. And then I was like, wait, what?
I mean, you've seen these people, all of these people, except for maybe some of the bunk hands. You've seen these people in other things, and you really won't realize it's them.
Yeah.
You know,
they do a
there's
great job.
the
Ian
sheriff.
Bowen is one of the Bunkhead guys. I love him. I'm a nerd. I loved him in Teen Wolf. And this, he's not like, it took me like 4 episodes to realize it was him. Yeah, so there's lots of people that you're going to recognize, but you won't realize you recognize them.
They're going to be like familiar, and you're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
But so, so enveloped into the role that you don't even realize who they are.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Costner's probably the only one that you'll automatically recognize. And I will say that as Kevin Costner roles go, he clearly loves playing this role and is very relaxed in the role. Even though it's not a very relaxed role, you can tell that he's just like, having a great time in this role.
Feels like this is him.
Good God, I hope not.
Like he just is like, nah, but I mean the cowboy thing. Like I just, it feels like he disappeared for a while, and then he came back and he's like, I'm a cowboy. And I was like, yep, totally, you're a cowboy. So
watch it, because
Yellowstone.
You can catch up on there's several streaming opportunities out there.
And there's only like 10 episodes a season or something, I think.
So. Yeah.
So it's not a, they are full 40-minute episodes or whatever, but they're not but there's only 10 episodes, so you can catch up really fast. And we're about halfway through. No, we're almost to the end of the third season.
We're well into this season.
So
and it's one of those shows where like you don't even realize stuff's happening when it's happening, because you're so like distracted by all the gunfights and everything, that the actual sort of character development moments all sort of come at you at once. Like in the last 2 episodes, we have learned major stuff about characters that, for 2+ seasons, we've been like,
terrible.
Why is this person like this? This is ridiculous. And then boom, they suddenly explain it, So those things tend to come at you really fast. Wow. All this sort of extraneous violence is going on.
But I'll be honest, you might feel sorry for them a little bit. You might even be like, I feel sorry for you a lot, but you're still gonna be like, you still fucked up though. Like you are still a messed up fucking person.
Like you can feel really bad about why Beth is the way she is, but she's
still crazy.
She's still a sociopath.
Exactly. But so check out Yellowstone, and then we have some good news. Deb, tell us the good news. Can we tell them?
I think we let's wait until we have it scheduled.
All right, we have some very exciting news that we can't share with you. I feel special saying that. We'll just say you guys are going to be super excited. Like super duper excited. So
I don't want to jinx it. We'll just wait until we get it scheduled.
Okay.
Then we can tell you guys.
So this is a little teaser that it's coming. Something exciting that you're all going to be in on. So so that's it for Yellowstone. Okay.
And it has great music.
Thanks, and tune in next week for another Need to Know session at the Crib. Follow us on Twitter @StrikebackCrib. Out.